Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making an easy, delicious chocolate zucchini bread. So let's get started. First off, set your oven to 350 Fahrenheit, and we're gonna grease a 9x5" loaf pan. Just a little butter will do. This is not gonna stick. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use some parchment paper. Whenever you make a loaf, a little parchment paper does wonders. Just place it right into your buttered dish. I can pull it out when it's done. It'll be no fuss, no muss. Now, in a large bowl, I'm gonna get all the dry ingredients together, starting with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. That's 180 grams. Perfect. I'm also adding 1/2 cup or 50 grams of Dutch processed cocoa powder. Dutch processed cocoa powder is gonna be darker, and it also gives you a fudgier baked good when you use it. Cocoa powder is so light, it's crazy. There we go, 50 grams. Sugar is technically a wet ingredient, but we're adding it anyways, 200 grams or 1 cup. 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. If you're using table salt or a fine crystalled salt, I would use like 1/4 plus a little pinch. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. You could add so many spices to this. If I was doing this another day, I might add a little bit of cardamom, like 1/4 teaspoon, and 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of espresso powder. You could use instant coffee, or you could also add a little bit of like really strong coffee into the wet ingredients if you don't have the instant stuff. This is not gonna make it like a mocha cake. You're gonna be tasting more chocolate because you added the coffee in. It's a well-known, not so secret baker secret. Our scale is done. Now we're gonna sift it out. Cocoa powder has so many lumps because of the fat content, so it's just a good idea to always sift any recipe that has cocoa powder in it. Look, do you see this? That is pure rocks. Work those through. Give this a quick whisk. Okay, and now we're on to the wet. Actually, before I get the wet ingredients together, let me show you this. These are zucchini from our garden. I picked them today, and we are having the best crop ever. I'm so excited for all the delicious zucchini things I can make. In the recipe, I need 1.5 cups of shredded zucchini. There's 2 things you could do. You can shred it and pack it into a liquid measuring cup, or you can weigh it out. I'm gonna measure it today. It's the most accurate way, and I know that all I have to do is fill this bowl up until I get 220 grams. Make sure you remove that little tip where the flour used to be. Now we're gonna shred this out. And I have to tell you, so many recipes will say, oh, about 1 or 2 zucchini or something like that. That's not okay, because you could have little tiny baby zucchini or like massive ones. These are actually the medium-sized ones from the garden. We have some mega zucchini. When you add zucchini into any bread or cake, it's gonna make it super moist. It's just like adding pumpkin. You're not gonna taste the zucchini, you'll just taste the chocolate. And yes, this is an excellent way to trick people into eating zucchini if they claim they don't like it. Before I had this kitchen garden at the grocery store I went to, they charged you for individual zucchinis, which is crazy because some of them were like little tiny baby pickles and the other ones were like this big. So of course everyone's gonna choose the large zucchini because they cost the same. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. All right, let's see how much we have. That's more than enough. Just gonna take away a little bit. Perfect. So I have a little bit of extra zucchini. I can pop it into my omelet in the morning or something. But I wanna tell you that if you overload your bread with too much, it's gonna have a lot of water in it and you'll end up with like a soggy dough. It just won't have that melt in your mouth consistency. It could end up kind of gummy. It could just be wet. It's gonna be sad. So use the proper amount. In a medium bowl, I'm adding 1/2 cup of oil, veggie oil, but you could really use any oil that you like. Avocado, olive oil, anything's gonna work here as long as it's mild in flavor. I'm also adding in 1/4 cup of unsalted butter. I'm gonna pop this into the microwave. It's gonna be all nice and melty, and the oil will keep this cake moist no matter what. It could be in the fridge for a couple days. You bring it out, it'll be soft as you please. But the butter tastes delicious, so you have the best of both worlds here. Now I'm adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla because it's delicious. This is optional though, if you don't want to use it, the bread is gonna be delicious anyways. It's not cake, it's bread. It's time for 3 large room temperature eggs. 1. Normally I would crack these into a separate bowl to look for eggshells, but because this is clear, I can totally fish them out. Whisk together your delicious concoction of butter, oil, eggs, and vanilla. One of the reasons I like warming the oil and the butter up together is that you get a warm bowl. The butter is less likely to explode in the microwave, and your batter is gonna be slightly warm, which means it'll bake up really nice. Whenever you bake a cold batter in the oven, it's just not happy. The center takes so much longer to bake that the outside could be overdone by the time the center is done. Your zucchini bread is gonna be good for up to 4 days. Just wrap it up nice and tight, or you could slice it up and freeze those slices. Delicious. Everything's ready to combine, so we're gonna add our butter mixture in right now. Oh, it's so pretty. My shredded zucchini goes in as well. And for good measure, I'm also adding in 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You could use any chocolate you like, really. And I'm saving just a couple for the top. Fold this together until it's just combined. If you overmix, you could have a denser, gummy cake, and that's not delicious. Just fold. All I want to see is the flour disappear. Then I know I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready to pour my batter into the prepared loaf pan. Just add that in. Get all that delicious batter right into the pan. It basically looks like fudge right now. Top this with your reserved chocolate chips, and this is ready to go into the oven for 60 to 70 minutes or until a skewer inserted in the middle comes out clean. Let your cake cool a bit, give it a slice, and it's ready to enjoy. That is so full of chocolate flavor, and it just melts in your mouth. The zucchini gave it a ton of moisture, but you don't taste the zucchini. It just made it a magically soft cake. Bread. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and if you like this video, check out my chocolate playlist.